are 10 stats, one for each Playoffs Cup heating up. Tiger Woods wins his ho-hum, CSW Championship on Saturday.
Hello and welcome to the Cheese Wizard. I'm DJ Gregory. All right, so the Philadelphia Phillies have locked up their spot in the World Series by knocking off the Los Angeles Dodgers once again. And really what it came down to this year was the Dodgers just didn't have the starting pitching to match up with the Phillies' potent offense. So for now, we'll turn our attention to the American League Championship Series, which, by the way, is by no means over. And I think there are a couple important things to mention here about what's going on right now. First off, bravo to the Commissioner's Office for deciding to replace the League Championship Series umpires with veteran umpires for the World Series. These games are just way too close, way too exciting. 11 games have been decided by one run. We can't have poor umpiring changing the outcomes of these games. So, bravo to Bud Selig this time. All right. Another thing I want to talk about is a bunch of journalists decided to criticize John Lackey today for returning to the clubhouse and leaving the dugout during Game 5 in Anaheim last night. Lackey got pulled in the 7th inning, and Mike Scioscia brought in Darren Oliver to face Mark Teixeira with the bases loaded, and Oliver gave up a 3-run double to Teixeira. Hideki Matsui came up 2 batters later and knocked in another run to tie the game, and Lackey just couldn't watch anymore. He went into the clubhouse. He returned to support his team a half inning later. And these same journalists who criticized Lackey for doing this were the same journalists who said, well, this is just Manny being Manny, when Manny went to the clubhouse to take a shower during Game 4 Monday night in Philadelphia and missed Jimmy Rollins' walk-off double. Two totally different situations. John Lackey's a competitor, a bulldog, a fighter. He couldn't bear to watch. That's a winner. Manny Ramirez is a loser who only cares about himself and didn't care enough to watch and support his team. Let's get that straight. All right, the last thing I want to talk about is this, CC Sabathia. In my opinion, the Yankees could win or lose the World Series tomorrow night in Game 6 against the Angels, and here's how. If the Yankees can clinch tomorrow against the Angels, then CC Sabathia will be saved. He'll be ready on full rest for Game 1 of the World Series in the Bronx on Wednesday. He'll be able to come back for Game 4 on 3 days rest and come back for Game 7 against the Phillies if need be. CC Sabathia is 3-0 with a 1.19 ERA in the playoffs. He's pitched 22 innings and has 20 strikeouts and has only given up 1 home run. He may be the only hope the Yankees have of shutting down this Phillies offense. If, on the other hand, the Yankees can't win Game 6 in the Bronx, they'll go to a Game 7, and Sabathia will have to pitch in Game 7 on Sunday night, which means the earliest he would be ready is Game 2 on Thursday night against the Phillies on 3 days rest for a 4th consecutive time, and then he'd only be able to come back in either Game 5 on 3 days rest or Game 6 on full rest in the World Series. If CC Sabathia can only pitch 2 games in the World Series, the advantage is clearly in the Phillies' favor. That's all I have for you. We'll be back with a World Series preview sometime early next week. Thanks for watching The Cheese Wizard. I'm DJ Gregory.